the Boys in the Woods podcast. The show your mother warned you about and that your dad was hiding in the basement listening to. Get ready for the Boys in the Woods podcast.
Yeah, there's a little bear guy up there. Why is there a little bear guy up there, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, we are only 5 days, technically 4 days away from the NFL draft. Pretty freaking pumped about Thursday. Thursday.
The draft is Thursday.
Does it start at 7? What time is it? 7:30? Something about around that time.
Let's get this
I believe it's later. You guys are an hour behind us, so
no,
it's gonna be.
We're the same
time.
Central.
Yeah.
Nice, same time.
Yeah.
Same place.
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30. And it basically runs for 2.5 hours. So we're going to have lots of time to break this down. We do need to figure out how we're going to coordinate this, where we have the draft board up at the same time. I think what we're going to have to do is quite possibly change the configuration around on the screen.
Yeah.
So that we can have the draft board up there and watch.
Yeah.
Is that
Are you going to be doing like an updated ticker like you guys got where you put the draft, whoever drafts what, you type it in?
I should be doing that. Maybe we'll just do that and we'll watch it ourselves.
That's what I think. I think that would be better instead of doing a whole board and like trying to track and remove. If you just keep updating the ticker when draft picks happen, because there's enough time between a selection and the next selection that you have
3 to 5 minutes. I think they got.
Yeah, Charles is
Something
pretty
like
good
that.
about
Plus-
keeping us up to date on who's who. He did a pretty good job with the WNBA.
And plus, not only do you got 3 to 5 minutes, you also have commercial breaks on top of those 3 to 5 minutes between the picks. So
Well, we're all going to critique the picks anyways, and it matters.
It'll give us time to talk about the picks as they happen and stuff like that.
All right, you guys want to talk about draft away? Charles wanted to talk about the draft. I've been seeing more and more. I don't know about you. More and more that Joe Alt keeps falling. Is there any reason for this? He's fallen all the way down to 12 on some boards.
I think it's situational. I think it remains and
Does that
continues.
mean that San Diego doesn't want him?
Are they trading down?
Here's my favorite thing about the draft, right? After the draft combine, I don't listen to anything other than myself because there's nothing but smoke, hot air, and what this person did on a fucking pro day over what they just did on game tapes, in games, in real-time situations. For years. It's like this magical fucking pro day happens, and somehow or another, that singular moment speaks louder than everything they've proved on the field. I give 2 tits less. And my original thought process especially after the combine, seeing where the Chargers are, what they have to do and what they're dealing with, is that they can help themselves more by trading out of the number 5 pick than anything they can grab realistically. The Chargers are on a 3-4 year clock right now. They got cap space hell. Harbaugh's coming in and fixing a damaged franchise. I truly believe that the Chargers pass out. And with the Chargers passing out, it's going to pop a whole bunch of smoke. And I think a lot of that music falls on Washington, which is somebody we're going to be talking about later on in the show, as they reside in the NFC East, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. Correct? Yes, yeah. But I think Jaden Daniels is Washington is sticking with Drake May. Up until the magical pro day, it was Drake May. Any argument?
no, that's when this whole process started a while ago. Drake May was the consensus number 2 pick. And now, like you said, pro day happened. Jaden Daniels showed a little bit of athleticism. And then people got him jumping, including me. I think from what Washington wants to do based on their coaching, I think Jaden Daniels is the way to go.
Me too.
I still think Jaden Daniels should go number 2, but I'm with you, Charles. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Drake May just because
I mean, he's a bigger quarterback.
Go ahead.
He's a prototypical quarterback where he's over 6'3", he's 200 some odd pounds, he's got a big arm, So it makes sense that people are putting him at number 2. But look at who their OC is. Their OC works almost specifically with dual threat quarterbacks. So taking Jaden Daniels based on their offensive coordinator hire, I think is the smartest decision.
Well, either way, May's going either 2 or 3. It's just
so let me ask you
between.
this. I'm with Patrick on this because he's brought this up I don't know how many times. If you can't beat the guy that was already there previously in college, how are you going to?
Supposedly he was better than him.
But
Yeah.
how are you going to be better than him in the pros in the same? I'm not saying the same system, but
it would be the same system because it was Sam Howell, and if he goes to Washington, it's freaking Drake May. It's the same system he's going into.
So again, Jaden Daniels gives you a little bit different type of play in a system that direly needs somebody to light up the field. And I think, again,
if you are going off of arm strength and ability to throw the ball in a good arm, you take Drake May all day long.
Absolutely.
If you're thinking you're looking for a guy that can sneak out of the pocket and get things done, you're talking about Jaden Daniels. But if you're talking about a guy like Charles brings this up all the time, probably the guy that's going to last the longest in the NFL, you're talking about Drake May.
And I'll give you that.
I want to add a little bit of color for our listeners. Now, before Jaden Daniels went to LSU and threw to wide receivers like Malik Neighbors and Michael Thomas Jr., right? He wasn't on anybody's radar. Let's be honest. Not a top 10 radar. And if we want to dive deep, maybe 15 to 25. Okay, maybe. So regardless. So now we're talking about this same pro day where he was throwing to those athletes not covered, named Neighbors and Michael Thomas Jr. That's going to make anybody look good, right? Caleb Williams without Jordan Addison, how did he look? Without Jordan Addison, people are actually questioning out loud whether or not Caleb Williams should be number 1. But you've got Jaden Daniels with no gear, no pressure, no time, no restraints, throwing to the best wide receiver on most people's books and another top 5 wide receiver on everyone else's books. But then you've got the North Carolina Pro Day. Who was he throwing to?
The same people everybody else throwing to.
Oh, Tez Walker.
Okay.
Which Tez Walker's a fantastic, solid second-round pickup. I think he's slotted on most people's big boards.
Where's Malik Neighbors going?
4, 5, 6.
So we're talking about the difference between a top 10 NFL pick and a solid second-round pick. So I love it. Yeah. I love it. So again, this is the hype on these pro days. So
divisions in football too.
But before the pro day and before the combine, who was the number 2?
Columbine.
Hey, I'm sorry.
We don't do that.
No.
R.I.P.
There was the tribute, heart, #love.
Yeah.
Back to the conversation, though. But before the combine and before the pro day, who was number 2?
You already know how I feel about the combine and the pro day.
Yeah, absolutely.
He brought it. That was the first thing he brought up today. Is he doesn't give a shit about that.
It's a piece of shit.
Yeah. So without that, and here's the other kicker too. If I'm the Patriots or the number 4 pick, or I have the ability to get into that area of operation, I want the team ahead of me to take Jaden Daniels. You bet your ass I do.
Here's the other thing, though.
I want my guy to fall back to me. So
he didn't just win the Heisman; he dominated the Heisman too. So there is that.
Yeah, but here's the counter I have for that real quick. Here's the problem: the Heisman has become a what position award as of lately? A quarterback award, right?
But that's who we're talking about.
But let me say, this is why I don't weight the Heisman as high as other people do, because if you're a quarterback, you just have to be the best quarterback, right? But if you're somebody like Devontae Smith, not only do you have to be the best receiver in the country, you have to beat all of the best quarterbacks in the country to win that award. So
not even just him, the running
that's what I'm saying.
Well.
On a quarterback, when we're talking about talent evaluation on a quarterback, I don't think Heisman matters nearly as much as it does for a skill position, running back, wide receiver, tight end. If those 3 win it, then it counts a little more, because not only do you have to be the best in your position group, you have to be better than the best quarterbacks in the country. So Jaden Daniels' Heisman was fantastic, and he had a crazy dominant year, but that doesn't mean nearly as much to me as, like Charles said, you are throwing to 2 consensus, not debated, consensus top 10 receivers in the country. So I think it's a little different.
And not to take away from this young man, because he's very talented. And I've said many times, I think in the right position, he could be great. But when you have that top 10, top 5 talent around you, if you aren't putting up the best numbers in the country, I don't know if this is hurting or helping my conversation, but it seems like when you're able to throw to a top 3, top 5 wide receiver, you have a pretty easy road at the Heisman. Again, the most recent in my mind, Joe Burrow with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it was fine in the NFL now, isn't he?
But he also has Jamar Chase, which he also threw to at LSU when they won the national championship, and he won the Heisman, and he holds the records for most passing yards and touchdowns in a season.
So, how many?
Yeah, but he didn't have as good of a season as Jalen Daniels had in college football, though. We can go back and forth on this all day long. The problem is exactly what Mike brought up. It's gotten to a point where it's not as flashy. It's not as cool looking anymore as it used to be.
You definitely can't hold the Heisman as this top tier award, especially for quarterbacks. Because again,
no, because they're chasing it.
Well,
it's not just that. In the last 20 years, right? Quarterback wise, that have won the Heisman, how do they fare in the NFL? And I'm not saying that they
haven't done very well.
I'm not saying that they all fall off, but it's not a lot of in the last 20, 30 years, QBs that have won the Heisman that have come into the pros and actually.
It's definitely not in their favor.
I think here's a hot take. I think the Heisman is more of a team award than an individual award because of the attention it's getting solely on the quarterback. I don't know of a single quarterback that wins football games. I know of many quarterbacks that lose football games, right? Yeah. But a great quarterback puts his team in position to be great and allows his great athletes around him to make great plays. And somehow that gets projected onto a player that literally puts the ball in a 50-50 at best position, most times in a 60-40 not in your favor position.
Yeah.
How did we end up glorifying this? I believe they should have their own award, and the individual talent, the individual effort that's allowing that quarterback to shine should have more of the attention.
They should do away with the Doak Walker and all these other awards and just make there be one universal award. The Heisman has become, like you said, nothing but a quarterback award. Yeah, do they invite usually a wide receiver? Sure, but damn well he's got no shot of winning the thing.
Well, absolutely. Aiden Hutchinson there.
When he got invited, it was just a token. It was a token, but send the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, the Heisman is, again, it's great. It'll help you definitely for sure get into the College Football Hall of Fame probably. Right. But it's not going to get you anywhere. I'm like, does it give you a little notoriety if you're going into the draft next year? Yeah.
There's never
a little flex.
Here's the thing. It guarantees you getting drafted. Come on, let's be honest. There's never not been a Heisman that hasn't gotten drafted.
Oh, absolutely.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
It's what happens after you get drafted. Are you actually? Yeah. Yes, you might have been the year before you got drafted the best college player in college football.
It guarantees you a 4-year paycheck in the NFL. That's all it does.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that you're going to translate into the pros.
Like Charles just said it. Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of them too.
Trent Richardson, Troy Smith.
A name that Mike loves. I can't believe he doesn't own a jersey of this guy, Trevor Lawrence.
Did he? I thought he did. Did he win the Heisman?
Yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Them golden locks. There's no way the NCAA wasn't putting that face on TV.
I don't think he won.
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm about to check.
I can't
Trevor
wait.
Lawrence? I believe he won it the year. I think he won it the year that they won the national championship.
Not a one. No.
Man, why do I see him holding the trophy?
Because he probably was in the running a couple times, but he never won.
Yeah.
Not even. No, he's
not in any of the commercials. No.
And he's
I hear keyboard warriors going out over here. No, we got nothing. Coming up empty.
This is how we keep the show accurate. This is how we keep the show lively, and this is how we keep the talking points moving forward. Because if you just sit here and if you're just playing tennis against the Drapes, it's not going to get a very good return.
So then let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. All right. So let's keep it on Trevor Lawrence.
I'm so glad I got to use that.
So
against the Drake analogy, that's
okay. So let's do this Trevor Lawrence bit for a second, because we know how Mike feels about Trevor Lawrence. He's about as dog shit as dog water could be dog shit.
Yeah, I think with the right coaching staff, he could be great.
Okay, so this guy's college career. Let's just go over his career, right? Freshman of the year, offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, ACC player of the year, ACC athlete, Archie Griffin Award. When he won the championship, he got MVP.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Guess
Didn't
what
he
he's done since? Guess what he's done, accolades wise, since he joined the league. He's gotten one Pro Bowl bid.
Yeah.
And we know how Mike feels about Pro Bowls. These ain't shit.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Trevor Lawrence. He got put in an absolutely dog shit situation, and it seems like he's fine with it. He's fine with it.
I think he's just chilling. He's just chilling.
Just chilling
Didn't
now,
it?
yeah.
It did. Hold on. It did take him a really long time to lose on a Saturday, though.
But this goes back to Charles' take on Russell Wilson last week. Is it? Or is the team around him better?
I don't know. I give him a few more years before I'll say that he's completely washed up. He's definitely not panning out. If you want to say that, you can say that all day long. He's not good.
Yeah, he's not going to put the team on your shoulders.
Yeah, he's right here, and good is up here, and great is up there.
I think that's where Trevor Lawrence ends up falling. Right? He can play with the lead very well. He cannot lose you the game, but he's got sub 35% chance to win you the game, depending on the talent around him.
And this is the thing: he's in a division that technically he has a chance to win every year, because that whole from the Colts, Jaguars, it's Colts, Jaguars, Texans, and who else is up there?
Shit, not anymore.
Titans, Jaguars, Texans, Colts. That is probably one of the. He should have had at least a couple of division titles by now.
Yeah, the last few years before that, but now the Texans,
That's
good luck taking that division now.
We do have
Indianapolis.
But even with that, though, we always thought Trevor Lawrence was still going to be, at some point, the quarterback of the AFC South. And now he might be the worst in the AFC South.
Yeah. Do we allow the understanding of the Jordan effect? He is in the AFC. He's trying to do things during Patrick Mahomes' reign.
But so did Peyton. Peyton was doing the same shit with Tom Brady. So again,
so we're talking. So the book has not been written on Trevor then, because what if he wins the Super Bowl in the next 6 years?
I said you got to give him a few more years.
Yeah,
I mean, it's well possible. Again, you were right, Patrick. The first couple years, especially, you started off with Urban Myers, and that was just a big ass shit show.
Yeah, that was terrible. I think that might have had a lot to do with it. There's so much nasty shit going on at that team, and all that stuff was going on.
Now they have a competent head coach in Doug
Urban
Peterson.
Meyer.
Yeah, he fucked that team up bad.
Listen, that boy, we was questioning all his skills while Urban was there.
Yeah,
everything was in question. And then, I'll give him a couple more years.
Do you think that was because he chose Dabo Swinney over Urban?
Yeah. Well,
do you think Urban was like, "Fuck you, you should have played at Ohio State"?
That's a new level of petty if he did it.
That's Urban Meyer. That's definitely the realm where Urban lives. Come on, man. Remember how you said no to Ohio State, motherfucker? Good luck having a career in the NFL as long as I'm here.
He's a slime ball.
To get the attitude and the character that we got in Jacksonville, and seeing him back as a commentator,
they got pictures of him on the sideline with people sitting on his lap, just like he was in college.
He was trying to slide into that one lady's DMs, that one cheerleader. Did you see him creeping out the girl? He was like staring at her while her skirt was
I'll
up
meet you guys back at the hotel. I gotta go to the bar.
I'm Urban fucking Meyer.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bar real quick.
I'll meet
Give
you
me
back
5.
in the room.
He's that guy in Kill Bill. My name's Buck. I like to fuck. That's Urban Meyer.
My name is Buck. I like to fuck.
So he gets what, 2 more years of grace?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, I'll give him 2 more years.
6.
No, I
give Trevor Lawrence the same treatment.
I'm saying that. How long does Trevor Lawrence got left in his career? That's what I'm saying.
It depends on him.
And career, I think.
Be nice.
No, look. Honestly, no bullshit. I think Trevor Lawrence's stealing is starting to look more and more like Derek Carr, and his floor is starting to look like Brock Osweiler. I don't think he's better than Derek Carr, but I think two more years as a starter in Jacksonville, if you can't get it done then, you're
They're gonna
relegated to
call
a
it.
backup. You're going to be Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I'll be a backup quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
He won't
But
ride. They're
I
not
think
gonna ride with mediocrity.
No, I think he'll be a really good backup quarterback.
Yeah.
But
Serviceable.
I have never ever bought the hype around Trevor Lawrence being the prince who was promised. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I watched Trevor Lawrence back in the day. There was this ESPN show, some high school football show, where it was showing these 5-star recruits from different high schools training before college.
Number one that.
And Trevor Lawrence looked average. He was like, okay, he's smart. He could take a hit, but his arm strength isn't that much better than anybody else's in the NFL. He doesn't make better reads than anybody else in the NFL. He doesn't escape the pocket. He's not, known for his ball security. Like Trevor Lawrence, I think, and especially now, his seat and Doug Peterson's seat in Jacksonville have got to be hot as fuck. Because, yes, you get the first-year pass of Urban Meyer coming in and smacking the shit out of the owner and doing whatever he wanted to do. But that's been what? This will be 3 years ago now?
With Urban Meyer gone?
Yeah. 2 or 3 at least.
I think it's been a year and some change.
I thought it was way longer than that.
Does he probably have the softest hair in the NFL?
I'm like, it flows like it.
The only reason I brought this up is because I was gonna say, Mike, that's what makes him so soft.
Yeah.
He's got the softest hair in the NFL. He looks like a little prima donna out there. I think of him as a guy
like
who's
sunshine.
probably way more arrogant in the huddle even than he is on the sidelines. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the type. And look, I don't want to assassinate the man's character. I don't know him like that. So off the field, that's whatever. But on the field, I just don't think. I think he got the reverse treatment of Baker Mayfield from the media. When Baker was getting drafted, you had people shitting on him constantly. Just, he's not as good as people think he is. Da 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 da. And then Baker comes
Mayfield has another year like he had last year.
I think this is the thing, but I think Trevor Lawrence got the reverse of that, where it was like, he's a generational quarterback. He could be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. First off, that kind of pressure on a kid coming out of college is ridiculous. That's insanity. You're talking about him possibly being as good as somebody who won 7 Super Bowls, sorry. No, that's crazy. And 2, the first year he played, I was like, I told everybody his mechanics look like shit. His footwork is not great. Like, you could tell he is a stand in the pocket statue quarterback. And unfortunately, those kind of quarterbacks who can't extend the play, they don't survive anymore. It's not that kind of league. Defenses are going to kill you all the time now. Like, your edge rushers aren't 340 pounds now. They're 240 pounds now.
Are we all in agreement that we should just abolish this generational quarterback comment? Like, period?
Yes.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate it. I know that Paul is absolutely in favor of it because all it does is put this giant hype cloud over top of your player, and he's got to lift this up every time he goes out into the huddle. It's fucking terrible.
No kid out of college should have that much pressure on their shoulders. I don't care what position, whether it's quarterback, running back. It doesn't. To say that you're a generational type player, you're like once in a generation, like that. That sentence means a lot to some fans and some teams.
Because you
don't live up to that.
You know exactly the last player I'm thinking of when they said this, right? It's LBJ, LeBron James is the last person that they said this about. No, he's the last player that they said this about. I guess Wemby now, probably Wemby now, but
I don't even think the pressure on Wemby was as great as LeBron's.
Oh no, because Wemby had professional experience in France.
Sure,
now, granted, it's not the NBA.
So he can just dunk over it anyway.
So he had a lot of variables that make him know that he's going to be great. LeBron, as great as he was in high school, he wasn't the stature that he is now as far as weight and muscle that he has. So he had to prove a lot. And then again, it's at that time, basketball, you were coming out of college after 2-3 years. It was almost unheard of coming out of college or even out of high school and being as great as they expected LeBron to be. Nobody had that kind of hype coming out of high school.
Speaking of NBA hype, Charles, you want to transition us into the NBA playoff hype here then?
Who's got the
Oh,
hype?
the fact that Milwaukee's up 19 on Indiana right now with 8 minutes left in the first half.
I saw you opening your mouth and going.
Without Giannis right now, they're
Without
up 42,
Giannis,
23.
but they're without Giannis for 2 to 3 weeks, so they wouldn't even have him until they make the championship, the conference championship, like game 5 or something.
We don't need him.
We don't need him. We
need him for the
we
win. We got Dame time for the first round, baby. It's Dame time. This
I
I'm saying.
I forgot that Dame Lillard plays in Milwaukee now.
Goddamn Dame time. This is what I tell everybody. Everybody gets all hyped up about this regular season bullcrap, right?
Well, you guys were debating this, and I never got in on it because I was at work.
Yeah.
But I think you guys brought up the whole Defensive Player of the Year award, and we were all like, dude, why not Wemby?
Right.
Why not Rookie of the Year, and why not the Defensive Player of the Year? He has the stats, the blocks, the defensive rating.
Did y'all see? Somebody just highlighted something on a clip I saw on YouTube. It's Wemby versus, it was a 3-on-1 fast break against Wemby from the Hawks. And Wemby stands in the paint and they refuse to go into the paint. And he just stands there and they just pass the ball between the three. When's the last time you've ever seen that happen in a professional game?
I don't think anybody's. Well, Patrick Ewing, when he used to just stand in the lane, he was like 350 pounds. So yeah, you got out of his way, but I never seen a player avoid anybody like that.
So here I'm about to blow y'all's mind. This is not talked about enough. Victor Wembanyama averages 23.7 minutes a game.
How much?
Yeah.
24 minutes a game.
Yeah,
he's putting up all these stats.
Time management, yeah.
Because Coach Pop already said that he wasn't going to play him like that, and even with the limited playing of 2.5 quarters worth of time, he's still putting on ridiculous numbers.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to highlight. Yes, absolutely.
So not having him considered for Defensive Player of the Year is crazy.
You got to think. By the end of next year, he'll have another 12 minutes of playing time. He'll basically have another 50% added on to what he's playing. He'll be at around 35 minutes a game.
And imagine if he put a little weight on his body.
That's what I'm saying. That when he gets to that mark will be when he's able to build the body. I think he's doing well, to be honest with you.
The little frame that he has.
Yeah,
he's that guy who's not on social media. He thinks and eats basketball.
If you put 20 pounds of muscle on that kid, over a year, obviously it's not going to happen quick, but if you put 20 pounds of muscle on him, the kid is going to eat people alive. Like, he's got that. I'm thinking, what has he got? Like a 9-foot wingspan or something like that?
Yeah.
If he could get to a Dirk Nowitzki frame,
give him even maybe. Even maybe 10 pounds heavier than Dirk, like maybe a Porzingis, a little bit heavier like that. The kid he's an athletic freak. His handles are crazy. His shot, like, I get the hype around him. And Paul can tell you this. Before he got drafted, I was in our other chat, like, he's overrated.
I was a big critic. Ask Charles. I was a big critic.
When it came to Wemby,
I was bad. I told him, I said he's gonna be a freaking dud.
You guys want to get into this? You want me to? You brought me here. You brought me here. The draft in the NBA is fucking rigged. That's all there is to it. That's all I can tell you on draft day in the NBA. It's fucking rigged.
So we're all in agreement here that is he the best player in the NBA? Absolutely not. Was he the best defensive player in the NBA this year? Probably. And
hate to agree with Kendrick Perkins, but when you can't be considered the defensive player of the year if you're not in the game in the last 3-4 minutes because you're a liability.
That's valid.
# Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Gobert. I don't understand.
That doesn't make sense.
That dude.
That's like even the same.
Because he has.
Rudy Gobert.
He has the ability.
Playoffs, Charles.
Yeah,
dude. Gobert has. He has all the talent in the world.
I know.
Yeah, no shit. He's got the talent. He's got the weight. The dude could be a stalwart in the paint, but he refuses to harden up and just take a hit or two or just put his body on somebody. Shaq, look, I know Shaq is a freak of nature, and that's a crazy example, right? But when Shaq defended somebody, he put his whole fucking body on him and said, if you're going to come through me, you're going to have to go through me, period. Same thing with Patrick Ewing. Same thing. These great defenders. I think Gobert just is so soft in the paint. Like, people can score on Gobert.
This is the thing. I think the thing that hurts him the most, especially because of this, is my opinion. Him being his size, yes, he's basically a traditional big man in the league. What we used to see as kids and stuff like that. The OG type, like that's his style. Him moving outside of 10, 12 feet, anything past, that's where it hurts him the most. Because one, his footwork is not meant to be that far outside the paint. He's just not meant to do that. So when teams have stretch fours or stretch five that can pull him away from the paint, that makes him a liability because he can't guard out there.
You know where Gobert's best time would come is off the bench. If Gobert came in rotationally and wasn't a starting center, he'd be 100 times better because he wouldn't have the same wear and tear. He wouldn't have to go through the same bullshit. I think Gobert has talent and I think he has potential, but the problem is they're not using him right. They're just not. Now, if I'm Shaq, I know you guys have all heard what the shit that Shaq has said about this man. But Shaq is right. Like I said, you have to body people. You have to make people scared to come in the paint. And right now, there's only a couple of people who do that. Giannis and Embiid and Jokic sometimes. But those three are the only big men that are like, if you come in here, I'm going to snatch your fucking soul. When back in our day, Dennis Rodman was like that.
Oh, hell, motherfucking Patrick. Every team had one back then, even if he was mediocre.
You just had somebody to lock the fucking paint down. And you had a backup who could lock the paint down as well. May not have been as skilled, but he was mean as fuck, and he would foul the shit out of you if you came into the paint. I get where we're preventing injuries and stepping forward and changing the game and evolution. But, bro, these point guards are not just shooting from the outside and dishing anymore. They will make you look like an asshole. And if you got a point guard like Russ, who's now coming off the bench, he's going to make you look like an asshole every single time he comes in the game.
Dude, shout out to frickin' Harden. Looked like the old Harden today. Like, he led the Clippers today big time against the Dallas Mavericks. Dude, he put the wheels on Luka. Luka frickin' fell over today guarding him. It was fucking great. Shout out to him because Russ came off the bench, man, for the Clips, and I think he had 40 points between the two of them.
He made the decision to come off the bench. The coach,
he should. He's 40 years old. So
Coach Lou didn't make him do it. Hey, Coach, I know I'm better suited for coming off the bench. And again, to have somebody, because let's not get it twisted. He may be coming off
in the
bench,
NBA, but just not on that team.
But Russell Westbrook is still that guy as far as one of the most athletic point guards on the planet. Does he shoot too much? Absolutely. But having somebody like Russell Westbrook for the Clippers to come off the bench and able to manage that second round of guys and still be able to play with the first guys if need to later on in the game.
He only took 8 shots today off the bench. Only took 8. He made 5.
But
I'm good with that.
See,
all day long.
5 for 8 off the bench is fantastic. 5 for 8 is what I need.
This version of Russell Westbrook might be the best Westbrook we've seen in the sense of being able to participate on a team, and he's not just trying to make it about himself. He understands
that you think the term game manager, but I don't like that. I think game changer. I think he's the direction holder on that. I mean, Bobby Portis is a finalist for 6th Man of the Year, but it's got to be Russell Westbrook. It's got to be Russell Westbrook.
And they're the reason why the Clippers aren't considered a one and done in the playoffs. Because the way
this is the thing, right?
Kawhi Leonard being out.
I thought Dallas was going to be, because coming in, they were one of the hottest, if not, I think it was the hottest team coming in. Luka and Kyrie were going off. It did get scary. Dallas did wake up, and they made it a game. I mean, by the time Dallas woke up, it was too late, and that was apparent.
Happened in the playoffs. This is just.
So let me ask you guys this: Did you guys watch the Knicks and Sixers game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see how much they out-rebounded the Sixers without Embiid in there?
And with Joel Embiid's injury,
Bro.
There's no reason why you shouldn't just smack these people around.
Bro, they had 21 offensive rebounds. They were plus.
They're gonna sweep the Philly. They're gonna sweep Philly.
And Jalen Brunson did not have his best game that night.
No, Jalen Brunson looked like ass. He just didn't perform. But Josh Hart did.
Carried the weight. Y'all are definitely better now. And I didn't know if this was gonna happen since you've gotten rid of what's his name?
Barrett.
Get Barrett, and then you got how do you say his name?
Anunoby.
Ochi
That guy right there, Toronto's gonna miss that fool.
Well, not just him, but you got to remember too.
Can we
Julius Randle
agree? Go ahead.
Julius Randle's injured, so we don't even have our best big man in the game.
Listen, even when Julius Randle's playing, he's never there anyways.
Bro,
Julius Randle, 1/3 of the time he plays like everyone thinks he can.
Here's the problem. Boston is like sleepwalking through the playoffs right now, so it sucks.
Yeah. I think it's the Miami Heat that barely got in.
Only as good as Jimmy Butler is good. If Jimmy Butler's
Charles, but you don't win 64 fucking games when you rest a bunch of your players either in the East. So the East was a juggernaut.
Yeah.
The East was better this year. Way better this year. I think
be better, but there's no way in hell that your bottom
I can see that
teams can make the playoffs in the East. And
the Detroit Pistons are in the East, so it's like whenever someone's the East is a juggernaut.
How do you think I feel?
Wait.
Like, are we talking about the same Eastern Conference?
Oh, actually, Paul, did you see?
I know. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just saying.
Deal for $40 million a year.
Yeah,
but he wants a 4-year deal.
Well, I don't know if he's still got 4 years as a starter left.
The way that they're talking shit about my Bulls, though, they go, all right, the mid-3 is over. And I'm like, wait, what mid? Oh, they're talking about us.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's as much as it's going to pay me to see, especially because we didn't see Lonzo Ball be able to flourish in this offense, which I feel would have made the entirety of the difference between sucking and actually being a contender. Because when Lonzo was there and the whole core was there, Caruso, DeMar, Zach, and Vujicic were all, it was running, it was working. And not having that ability to stay healthy and be the squad that they should have been is going to suck, but it's time to blow up the Bulls and start over.
It really is. Look.
It's not going to happen because Zach LaVine's contract's way too expensive.
There's a couple teams that Charles and I spoke about this too, that Phoenix and Golden State, all they are is old teams. They're old. Right. Let's just be honest. They're senior led teams. And I hate to say this, but after Klay Thompson, what he did, is his career over in Golden State?
I don't know. Oh my God. Dallas is talking about trying to make a move on him.
Lopez from the fucking key. Sorry.
Charles is watching Bucks basketball, if you can't tell. He's over here, Dame time, giving us the highlights without even telling us the score.
Even if Klay, because I think Klay wants to stay in Golden State, but he's not worth the money if this is what we're going to get.
He's not the same player after that.
Klay
Nobody can
Thompson's
come back after that. That's just...
Klay Thompson's going to Detroit.
He's still a great basketball player, but he's
Klay Thompson's going to the Pistons, bro.
Just go to Portland. Yeah. Just go as far to the corner of the country as possible, and don't.
He'll go to Detroit, Charles, and he'll become an all-star, but they'll still lose.
That's what happened to Blake Griffin.
I was just to say he'll give us a Blake Griffin, and the Pistons will retire his. The Pistons will retire his jersey. You can see. Listen, Detroit will end up booing him a couple of times. Look to the crowd and go.
Listen now, Mike. The only thing that's stopping the Knicks from making it to the finals is Boston.
God.
Yeah.
I think
if Boston, here's the thing. I know they're playing the Heat, and like you said, the Heat is only as good as Jimmy Butler is. But Boston, for some reason, they just look like they're giving up on the postseason. You know what I'm saying? They look exhausted.
I think that's a coy. I'm telling
you. It very well could be. And look, I like Derek White. I live in San Antonio, so he was down here for a while doing a bunch of really cool shit. And I love Jason Tatum.
Boss, dude.
I think
he's energetic as fuck.
think they're on a collision course to meet each other in the finals.
I think that's what it's going to be
in the East, anyways. I think we're going to get
Bro,
some great basketball.
If the Knicks gets
that state battle right there, Massachusetts versus New York, Boston versus New York, that would be, I feel like an instant class.
Here's the thing: the Knicks just don't take your freaking foot off the throat. Just keep going. That's what the Knicks is. The Knicks bugaboo. The last 25 years of basketball has been when they are good. It seems like they know they're good, and then they forget that they're good.
Well,
that makes any sense, but.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense, but that's the difference now is we have somebody in Jalen Brunson who knows even when he doesn't perform, he knows how to motivate his guys. Who had Josh Hart going off on their bingo card in the first Knicks game? Nobody.
I think it's absolutely disgusting that Jalen Brunson is not on the Olympic team.
Me too.
I don't understand how Kawhi Leonard got a nod.
Yeah. He's not playing. He's not playing. He wasn't playing today, so he could be healthy for the Olympics.
Like out of all the
why these players are not on there. They're handpicked by whoever the coach is.
It's the same reason why Isaiah Thomas wasn't on the Dream Team. He should have been running that Dream Team.
Spite, right?
Out of all the players,
because Jordan hated him. Yeah, Jordan hated him.
6 of them.
Yeah.
6-2 is always better.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying.
Or 3. My bad. I apologize.
Thank you.
3.
Jordan would have had more if it wasn't for us. That's all I'm saying. Kobe can't say that about no one. Kobe can't say that about no one.
I have to.
7.
The Pistons sent Jordan to play baseball. That's what happened.
That's very true. I have to give the Pistons props because we're all old enough to remember the Ben Wallace era in Detroit. When y'all were just Rip Hamilton, fucking.
When we traded Stackhouse for Hamilton, yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Yeah,
Tayshaun Prince. Who remembers that block? That's all I'm saying. Who remembers the block?
Grant Hill.
Oh my God, Grant Hill. I wish Grant Hill would have stayed.
Dude, if Grant Hill didn't fuck his ankle up, he might have been one of the best basketball players. I have dreams
still about Grant Hill being healthy.
That's how I feel about Derrick Rose.
My first Pistons jersey was
Derrick Rose, same way.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says in the history of the world. My favorite throwback jersey is the green Pistons Grant Hill jersey with the horse. Oh my God.
Okay, so check this out.
Out of the nosh.
You got Derrick Rose.
Exhaust pipes.
I need your guys' help. Here we go. We got Derrick Rose. We got Grant Hill.
I don't want that jersey.
We got Greg Odom.
Good one.
Okay, so we've got the small forward, the center, and the point guard. We need a shooting guard.
The shittiest team ever.
The dream team that couldn't stay healthy. The dream team that couldn't stay healthy. So you got Derrick Rose. The dream team that couldn't stay healthy. You got Derrick Rose, Greg Odom. Ben Simmons has got to be in there too. So we move Grant Hill to the shooting guard.
What about Brandon Roy? No, but he had a whole career though.
Tracy had a good career.
Anthony
Hardaway.
Brandon Roy.
Oh,
he had to retire 7 years in because he couldn't hold up.
Oh yeah,
there it is. Who beats them? Hey,
all in their prime before they got hurt.
Well, the Hibbert was a 7-footer for Indiana. Remember that guy?
He was dominant, and then he just couldn't shoot.
Dominant. Then he was another one that had bad knees because he was like 7'2".
That is the curse.
Speaking of guys who used to dominate for Indiana, what do y'all think is the future for Mr. Paul George?
He's gonna retire without a ring.
Yeah, he's done.
I was just saying I need a little more context.
I just mean like he had when he was in Indiana, he was like that guy. He was PG. No, you didn't mess with him, right? He went to the Clippers or he went to the Oklahoma City Thunder first.
His defense
and it's like he morphed into a dude who isn't sure what he used to be. You know what I'm saying?
I think a factor plays with one in Indiana outside of Danny Granger. He was the guy in Indiana.
He made it to the East Finals with Indiana.
Yeah, and he got beat by LeBron. But when he went to these,
that sucks. But
he had to share the spotlight.
Especially because there's different. More people that can say they beat LeBron than can say have been beaten by LeBron.
So when Paul George went to the team, he had to do it with Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook on the same team. And now that he's in the Clippers, he's having to share the spotlight and time with revolving around Kawhi and certain other people. So now this year you got Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell Westbrook on your team.
You know who two players right now that are sharing the spotlight right now that are doing really well? Anthony Edwards and Cat.
Because Cat knows he's the second fiddle now. This is Anthony's team. He is him. That is MJ's
Anthony Edwards
talking
went
about.
fucking off today, dude.
He took over. Did you see what Michael Conley said on the bench?
No.
He said, "Oh, he's in his bag. Oh, he's in his bag.
Boy.
If he keep playing like this, we're gonna keep going." Anthony Edwards is showing his ass.
You're gonna have people pretty soon if this kid keeps playing like this going, should he be the new logo of the NBA?
Not to toot our own horn, but Dame Time's got 35 at halftime.
Bro, dude, I'm telling you right now, it is 69 to 40 fucking 2.
You said Damian Lillard had 35
at halftime, bro.
Yeah.
At halftime. Listen,
all right.
You know what?
Let's do a wager right now.
I have it on the NBA.com, the Bucks in 5. I have it on the NBA.com.
Let's
Bucks
do a
in
wager.
5.
Dame has
You did.
35.
You did pick
35,
that.
right? Dame has
Yeah.
35 and a half. Let's
Yeah.
do over under.
Okay.
Over 45 or under 45?
Oh, over 45 is
Over.
easy. We got to do 53 and a half.
Okay.
I think
so
53 and a half.
53 and a half over under.
53 and a half over under. I'm saying over.
I'm saying, could you say 53 and a half?
53 and a half.
Under, because I think they're already up by 27.
They're going to slow him down.
Like, yeah, they'll take him out for the whole.
Here's why I'm saying this, right? Check this out.
Ah!
Are you gonna take these out? Are you gonna take these out of the game? Because that right now, that's how Damian Lillard's looking. All right, Damian Lillard's got the crazy eye right now. That's how he's looking. You don't take the crazy eye out. He's in the playoffs. He's hungry. He's waited all season for this.
You touch the eye and go like Adam Sandler, or no?
Crazy eye right now. So fucking crazy eye right now.
You got under?
I got under because I think they're taking him out in the late third.
I'm taking the under.
What you
No, I'm taking the over.
You crazy eye.
I know. I'm taking the over.
So we got Charles and Chaos doing over, and Patty and me going under on 53.
Listen, here's the thing. He's got to get 10
55.
points. He's got to get 10 points in the third and 10 points in the fourth, and he goes over.
I get that.
Yeah, I think he hits.
If
55.
he makes it to the fourth quarter.
Bro, I think if he keeps.
What is the Bucks playoff record? What's the Bucks playoff
Bro,
record? Look that up.
Overall or for what?
Just a
For
Bucks
how far back?
playoff record, and if maybe he's going for that.
What's the Bucks playoff scoring record in a single
Well,
game?
just for a single game in the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's over 60, he's probably not going to go for it. But if it's
No.
50 some, then he might stay in for it. If it's 58,
Well,
59.
didn't y'all have one of y'all top scorers was Oscar Robertson back in the day, right?
Yeah, but
Oscar Robertson?
I don't know if he scored over 50 in a playoff game. Maybe. Charles, you looking this up for
Y'all
us?
also had what's his nuts too. Y'all had Kareem before he
We
was
had Kareem. We had Kareem.
You
But,
said
He was still Lou Alcindor.
But I think those are regular season games when they scored like 60, 70 points, those games.
Oh, it just has regular season records.
Maybe they never kept
Giannis
playoff records.
Antetokounmpo set the scoring record December 13th, 2023. 64 points against the Indiana Pacers in a game where the Bucks secured a 140-126 win in that matchup at Pfizer Forum Stadium.
They only won by 14, so that game makes me think that maybe they got it within 10. They're gonna have Indiana's got to go on a run here, or he's coming out. If they're up by 40,
I'm telling you.
Whoa, hold on. Let me pull up my Google Translator because you're speaking some kind of fucking language I don't understand right now. What do you mean Indiana's going to go on a run? Do I got to show you the crazy eye right now again? You got Dame Time out there right now.
You got to go the other way. This is your Milwaukee eye. That's
goddamn
your
Dame Time
Indiana
right
eye. Now you got Mike in with the crazy eye. Paul's got the crazy. You picked the under. How can you got
It's
the crazy
contagious.
eye?
Of course it's contagious. The whole
Listen,
team's out there going crazy right now.
There's no way that they're gonna keep going at this pace. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Going at this pace and not take him out. He's coming out in the fourth quarter.
But look, this is the thing, right? I can absolutely see them taking him out end of third, beginning of fourth quarter. But if I don't know, dude,
And they're
like,
not giving him the record.
So who's the pro? This is the thing. Who do you trust more in a big game than Dame?
Not a fucking person. He has the
Who are you going to
second.
put in?
I'm thinking him out.
He's
Well,
he's the
Who are you
first
gonna-
or
but
second
I'm saying-
all-time leading clutch
Well,
scorer.
you still got Middleton, and you got Lopez,
Bobby
and
Portis.
I'm not saying.
Portis. Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not other talent on the team.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
If it's a close
The
game,
big
he's gotta
shot?
stay. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to keep.
Oh,
Yeah, if they go into the fourth and they're up by 35 or
Double
more,
digits,
he's
yeah.
definitely coming out. Yeah.
Like,
All right.
Charles
But if
said,
they
that-
go into the fourth, and it's only, knock on wood, if it's only like a 15-point lead, I think you keep him in and
well,
just
he's
let him
still in
finish the
there
game.
for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you
check
gotta-
this out. Since 2012,
what random stat you got for us?
Lillard has hit more three-pointers, 132, with the score within 5 points in the final 5 minutes of a regular season game than anybody else. Steph Curry is second with 124.
Well,
You
I
got
don't think
clutch time, Dame time.
So that means they're gonna get up ahead in the third quarter and have a bench with a towel with a nice little Gatorade.
We're gonna be
with
seeing
sunflower
Giannis.
seeds on the other side.
We're going to be seeing Giannis? Yeah, I love it when
he's
Giannis
coming in
comes
for
in,
the
man.
last
Oh, you mean, no, it's,
Electric.
his name is Theonastis.
Theonastis, yeah, I feel bad. I gotta
Theonastis
remember, yeah.
Antetokounmpo.
I love that, dude. I don't care. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, you're only on the team because
He
of your
has a-
last
what's
name.
his-
Don't give a fuck.
What's his
All
other
three of them
brother's
are on
name?
But I'm on
at
the
one
team,
point in
bitch.
time.
What's that?
It's Giannis, Thanasis, and what's the other one?
After something. The guy,
Yeah,
the little brother,
Yeah. You got the Antetokounmpo trio in there.
It's still one of the
I don't know,
coolest
dude.
things in
Okay,
sports.
so in the last 5 minutes of a game in clutch situations, Lillard has scored a total of 110 points in 126 minutes, which ranks 7th in the league. He achieves this efficiency with shooting splits of 49.3 from the field, 38.5 from beyond the arc, and an impressive 91.5 from the free throw line.
But problem is, I would like to see those stats, whether or not they were games that he had to have the ball in his hands because they were losing, or if their games are up by 20 points.
Considering he was in Portland, clutch time, you
They
only
were-
receive.
They probably were.
Hold on, no,
losing,
you
yeah.
only receive clutch time points when the game is close. The score has to be within 5 or 10.
I thought clutch time just meant at the.
No, because there ain't fucking nothing clutch about me being up 40 with 4 minutes left in the game.
I don't know about that.
No, that's fine.
I was clutch for 3 quarters.
No, I promise. I'll look it up real quick. You guys keep discussing, but clutch means something with points.
This is the thing. Is to me, it doesn't matter. Dame, like you said, Dame is one of those shooters that you want the ball in his hands more often than not in a clutch situation.
Without a doubt.
And I don't know.
In the NBA, I didn't mean to cut you off here. Hold on. In the NBA, clutch time refers to the critical moments during a game when the score margin is within 5 points and there is 5 or fewer minutes remaining in the fourth quarter or overtime. So, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys picked up a great one, especially losing Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Like to pick up Dame, to Mr. Dollar himself, and have him come in. And this is the thing. I'm so happy for Dame as a fan of basketball because in Portland he was stuck in a closet. He had no help. There was no CJ McCollum was there, but like they had no front court help at all.
Yeah.
It was all backcourt dominance. So now your front court in Milwaukee is as good, if not better, than any team in the league. And now your backcourt is as good, if not better, than anybody else in the league. Like that's the difference in a game changer versus somebody who can come in and give you 6 points off the bench.
You didn't even bring up the most effed up point about it. The score is 42-35. So even if without the rest of the Bucks, they're only down 7.
They're playing good
They're
defense.
10 points.
They're
Even
playing
if
good
nobody else
defense.
scored.
It does help that Indiana
They're
was
playing
1 for
good
14.
defense.
They're
That's
1 for 14 from the three.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
good
the
on
three.
defense except when Damian Lillard has the ball, apparently.
Did you
No,
know that-
I'm saying Milwaukee's playing good defense with Dame going off like this.
I hate to be this guy to bring this stat up, but there was like 7 women's games this season in college basketball, Division I college basketball, where a single player outscored the other team. And I know this happens in high school, even in guys sports,
How many
in
times?
men's. There was 7 times where a woman outscored the other team in college basketball, Division One.
Like for the
I mean,
game?
yeah, for the game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they
It happens
played them?
because there's better. Oh yeah, it happens. I believe one of them might have been UConn or South Carolina.
I was to say
That's
Juju
weird.
Smith-Schuster is I promise you, at least 3 times her by herself scored more
You got the
points.
wrong Juju.
Did you just say Juju Smith?
Yeah, you got the wrong Juju. I was
I
like,
didn't know he could ball like
Yeah,
that.
no, he gets.
and he was a woman.
Juwana man, fucking
And
Juwana man.
Dude, speaking of which, remember Grandma Ma? Remember those commercials? Those were the shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this
Freaking,
good
Johnson?
Juwana man.
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson, man, those are the best.
Oh,
Grandma Ma,
man. I'm sorry.
that dude was a
Bro.
dog too.
Was it Juju Watkins? It was Juju
Yes.
Watkins. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Juju
She
Smith
scored
Schuster.
70 one night.
Honestly, these probably were teams that were really
Oh,
bad. Like they were playing like some prep school or something that's D1. Women's
You know-
basketball's got some weird D1 schools.
But this is the thing. What makes it even funnier for the bettors, for the college, who's just walking through the schedule each day?
I don't know. You can find those games
No, I'm
probably
like, you
not.
go through
but-
the game and they go, there's this one bet line. A USC player is going to outscore Indiana State, Texas A&M University. Who would you put?
The Tigers are
You put
3
down
wins
on that
away
line
from
and how
matching
much
the
would you
Pistons.
put?
Yeah.
It's just to say that you outscored a whole damn team.
But if
by
you're the
yourself.
what if you're the asshole that lays like $1,500 on that prop bet and you win it and say that it's like plus 1,900 or something, you walk away
It's
with
like
20
you-
G's.
when
Could you
you
live with
see it-
yourself knowing that you bet on that? You could.
Yes.
I would be.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to
Yes.
tell anybody that I won.
100
You gonna tell
I would-
everybody you won money.
I would scream it from the rooftops.
I'm still
I
happy
would
for
fucking.
Bro.
I would get it tattooed
Bro, look.
on my shoulder like Jim
not
Harbaugh's
saying
15 and
you're
0.
If you're laying,
Yeah.
bro, if you're laying odds like that, and I could bet on the color of the Kool-Aid in the Super Bowl and win that kind of money, I would tell everybody. I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
gonna tell
Like-
everybody.
So the NFL is
yeah.
doing away. Speaking of, the NFL is doing away with the streaking thing. You're no longer going to be allowed to bet on that one because people are doing.
Well, that's
it
because
on purpose.
old boy last year, yeah, and one stupid amount of money.
400,000. I think he only bet like a couple hundred, but he won.
Yeah, I
like
think it was like
400.
500
Well,
and won
yeah.
like 400K.
Talking about the NFL.
Only for a $2,000 ticket too to be arrested.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
worth
I
it.
would- yeah.
yeah, it's definitely worth
Oh,
it.
you're banned from coming to any stadium. Still
Okay.
got
No,
my
I
money
think he's.
for it.
I think he's
No, I'm
only
just
banned
saying,
from
if
the
they
Super
would've
Bowl
said that,
for
I'd
a
have been
certain
like-
amount of time, like 10 years or something.
I don't
I'm
care,
okay
just
with
pay me
that.
my money.
Speaking of NFL,
400K, yeah.
let's go ahead and let's start this off. So, on previous shows, we have discussed the Bears. We've discussed a little bit of the Eagles. We've discussed a little bit of the Packers. So, we're gonna quick dive with the Bears real quick, just to give us a recap of what the world should already know. Caleb Williams is going number 1. There's a small discussion about another wide receiver at 9. Most of the mock drafts I've seen or have done myself actually have them going more of the defensive route. I think that would be smarter. Paul, how do you feel?
I'm mixed towards a lot of scenarios. The number one scenario I would prefer, yes, I know we're getting Caleb Williams. That's undeniable by anybody that has a brain and knows football. That number 9's pick is, I think, more important now than ever, because this might be one of the draft picks that can turn the tide for us, whether it's offensively the right way, whether getting an offensive tackle or a center, or if we go defense and we get us another edge rusher to be on the other side of Montez Sweat. Like that, you have to pick one or the other, because one or the other is going to help turn this tide around to get us to where we need to go in the future. But if we go receiver or go like Drake, Bowers, going for a weapon at this point, now that we've had so many conversations on the show about what's more important, because it's like yes, Keenan Allen may just be a 1-year rental, but he's here. And we possibly get somebody else later in the 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round, if not next year, to replace Keenan Allen. That somebody might be younger and more cheaper on the contract. So I would either go offensive tackle or I'd go defensive, just because.
Keenan Allen, dude. Yeah. Keenan Allen is he is probably Mr. Responsible as far as a player goes.
like the pick.
That guy is always there to catch the football. If you can get it to him, he's catching it.
And
he's reliable as all hell. He might not be the greatest receiver, but he's reliable.
And maybe he ends up building nice rapport with Caleb Williams.
Absolutely.
And he likes the situation, takes less money to re-sign. He's made a bunch of money. He's living a good life. But maybe
do you think he's also a value to the locker room as well?
I agree.
Absolutely. As a veteran, being 10, 11, 12 years in the league,
yeah.
No stuff, and you have a young receiving core in Chicago that can feed off of his brain and his experience being in the league and still be a valuable asset offensively as a threat because he's still young. Yes, he's in his early 30s, and in football, that means you're but that's not always the case with every player. And I think he can help both our receiving core and help Caleb Williams possibly. Because look at the young talents that he had to deal with. And he just left Justin Herbert to come to possibly, again, a generational talent at quarterback. I'm like, who else better to have than somebody who's already played with somebody young that's talented and help them? So why not do it? Why can't he do it again?
I think we'll throw a little color in this and then we'll bounce on. I think it has a lot to do with what Atlanta does. I think if Atlanta picks up a wide receiver for Kirky Cousins, I think that will allow the Bears then to pick up Dallas Turner. But I think if Dallas Turner isn't on the board at 9, I think at that point then the best option would be for the Bears to pick up some type of weapon. I still think, I agree, offensive line, defensive line, or defense of tackle. Patrick, Mike, what say you?
I don't think you go best available player. I don't know about you, Mike.
No, I don't think they only have 4 picks in this draft, so you can't afford to.
They got to be very selective what they do.
That's the thing.
But now,
do you trade it?
I wouldn't. Their first 2 picks are too valuable. Like the talent that you're going to get off. Obviously, Caleb is going number 1, like everybody has said.
Right.
Let's take the number 1 pick off the table because that's gone. Number 9, I think there's a couple of different ways you could go. You do have weapons on offense already. You just signed DeAndre Swift, who can catch out of the backfield, right? You got Kevin Byard, so you don't really have to worry about safety because he's going to play better in the Chicago defense than he did in Philly.
Yeah.
For me, for Chicago, I would go one of 3 players. I would either go Joe Alt to keep Caleb upright.
Yeah.
I would go Dallas Turner, or I would go Mike Sainristil from Michigan as in the corner position. I think Mike Sainristil now the problem with going Mike Sainristil is that number 9 is super early to
but
draft
for a
him.
team that doesn't have a second-round draft pick,
so you'd have to make that.
But here's the kicker though, if you're going to live in that reality, then why not take Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid?
You could.
One of the other 4 above him.
So here's the problem. Taking Cooper DeJean, if I'm Chicago.
I watched Sainristil all year. I love the kid. Don't get me wrong. That's a great pick. I think
Sainristil fits better into what Chicago wants to do defensively. Cooper DeJean, here's the problem. Cooper DeJean is going to do everything that you need, but he's not going to excel at just one thing. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's what DeJean is. Now, we, again, not taking pro day and shit into a lot of account, but we saw what he's looked like after his leg break. He still can run. He still can change direction. He's still got the same athletic ability. So I could see going to Cooper DeJean. But I think Chicago needs one of Mike Sainristil to me, and I might be the only non-Michigan fan who's really as high on Sainristil as I am. I think Mike Sainristil from a coverage space and plus a body space, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in this draft, and I think he would fit in Chicago. I think the only one who would maybe be better is Quinyon Mitchell, but Mike Sainristil to me fits in Chicago really well.
Yeah, the thing with like you said, you brought up Michigan players. They basically, for the last few years, have been playing a NFL style defense, so they're already going to be around that. Every coach they've had the last 3 years came from an NFL. Let's just say it. They came from the Baltimore Ravens system. Yeah, they do know NFL type. I'm not saying they're NFL caliber, but they know what the schemes are. As far as that goes.
We went to the Bears. let's talk a little bit about. I think just as an let me rephrase this. I think they're in a more exciting phase than the Bears, really, with the Minnesota Vikings. They're sitting at 11.
Exciting is a very intriguing word there.
You have two
Very
picks
optimistic.
inside the 25 at the first round. You're sitting at 11 with everything saying you're going to 5 or 3. What are you going to do with, what is it, 22 or 23?
No, they have
23.
20.
Is it 24?
23. I'm looking.
No,
at it.
Dallas is 24.
Yeah,
23.
Dallas is 24. Yeah, so you've got the Eagles at 22, Minnesota at 23, Green Bay at 24. So here we're going to talk a little bit about Minnesota and Washington. I think this has a lot to do with that scenario because if Washington takes the quarterback the Patriots have on their board, I see the Patriots taking Marvin
Trading
Harrison Jr.
Oh,
What?
because you have then
They don't
Marvin
have a
Harrison Jr., but they've got Jacoby Brissett.
Sucks.
yeah.
But
He
again,
sucks, but he'll do for
Are
the.
you telling me you think Marvin Harrison
you're gonna
can make
have-
this man look good?
Yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
saying
not
Marvin.
No.
Hey.
I think the smartest. I'm on Charles's wavelength with this, because when you said that, the first thing that made me think is Shador Sanders next year.
And
Because New England's not going to be they're not going to be a playoff team. I don't care who they get. They're just not there yet. So if they get Marvin Harrison Jr. now, next year they're going to be just as bad. They finish with a top 10 pick again, trade up and get Shador Sanders. It's not a bad plan. You've already got your weapon there. He's already used to your offense.
You've
You're
got
building
the
up your
offensive
offensive
weapon.
line.
You have the ability to mortgage the future
Yeah.
then in next year's draft.
So
That's
you're
what I'm saying. A
telling me-
lot of this falls on Washington because if Washington picks Jaden Daniels, I don't see the Patriots taking Drake May or J.J. McCarthy.
No, I think Minnesota will come up and either take. I think Minnesota, I can see taking Drake May way faster than I could New England.
Well, I've got the Chargers trading out with Minnesota. I think that's the most reasonable thing. It allows the Chargers to build assets.
Let's all be honest. I agree with Charles 100%. We know what's going to happen. There's going to be at least one trade in the top 10. For sure. Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
But you're telling me you're willing, Mike, to risk having one of the quarterbacks of this year.
He's not. He's thinking New England is.
Yeah,
I think that.
Well, I think because of Gerard Mayo and the way he coaches and what he has available to him. Because look, let's be honest, right? Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in this class, hands down. He's gone. He's gone. You can't even worry about it, right?
After Caleb Williams, there's nothing but question marks.
And next year, you're
But this is
debating
that-
between
that's-
Carson Beck and Shador Sanders are basically the only two quarterbacks in that draft.
That's my issue, though. You're Washington. You take Jaden Daniels off the board. You're telling me the Patriots are going to go into a fucking whirlwind and lose their shits and act like there's not other capable quarterbacks in the league for a gamble that Shador's going to be that guy next year just because Marvin Harrison's there?
That's a way to look
That
at
makes
it.
no
That's a way to
fucking
look
sense.
at it. But Jacoby Brissett is a proven commodity.
But I'm just saying you're willing to gamble.
I would be.
So who do you? Okay, so who do you? Yes, because look, if they don't take Marvin Harrison, you got to trade down because who else is worth going for at 3?
Again, you're willing to risk and gamble this year's rounds of quarterback on the hopes and dreams. One, that you have enough of a draft capital and to trade up
Yeah.
for possibly Shador Sanders. That's proven what?
I'm not saying.
No, I don't
I'm not saying.
disagree with
I'm not saying Shador
I'm
Sanders
saying,
is
if
proven
I'm
that.
New England, that's
Yeah.
just stupid.
So here's another.
But here's
Go
the
ahead.
other issue, right? You're saying I'm skipping this class of quarterbacks like there's anybody worth a shit.
But
This
you're
is
saying
the
that
thing.
Shador Sanders is better than everybody else after Caleb Williams?
He has the potential. To me, he has the potential to be.
Here's
But
another
this is
side
the
of
thing.
it from the marketing standpoint. Marvin Harrison Jr. sells jerseys and keeps people in the seats all season. A rookie quarterback who becomes nothing empties seats about halfway through the season and jersey sales tank. I think from a rebuilding standpoint, there isn't another Marvin Harrison Jr. in this draft.
And that's
Neighbors.
So let me ask you this, Paul.
Next
Who
year's
is
draft,
this year?
I'm sorry.
Who is
Oh.
this year's
I was
Anthony
like,
Richardson?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Nobody knows. That's the
Who's this
thing.
year's
But that's what I'm saying. Who do you think?
I'm not saying again. I'm not saying
Charles
that
said it, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
do you
not
mean
saying that-
as? Okay, go. Sorry.
As in, like the 4th or 5th quarterback that comes off the board, where he's just holy shit, he should have been way higher.
Are we talking about maybe Penix? Maybe.
But
Or
that's what I'm
Bowman.
saying is I don't think you have to. If you're New England, I don't think you have to. You don't have to get a quarterback in the first round. You trade out, get an extra second round pick, get Penix in the second round, and then you have another second round pick to get a corner or a safety or a lineman. Like,
and I get it. I understand. It's just the logic for me for a team that is, since Tom Brady has left, have struggled in the without
Belichick. Now
Belichick.
Belichick's gone too, so
Belichick's gone, and it just even got worse. That quarterback position in New England is non-existent. Mac Jones did not work out there.
But I think that's exactly why they're saying that they're okay with it, because they know
That's what I'm saying. Right now, I'm looking at the 3rd or 4th best quarterback.
Okay.
But I can get a generational, even though we hate to say it, wide receiver. He's going to be. Who was Ohio State's quarterback this year? What was his name?
I don't know.
Exactly. Marvin Harrison Jr. made that kid look great. Okay. So you're going to have Jacoby Brissett, a dude who can actually throw the ball, who did win the starting job in Washington, but lost it because of injury. And then Washington kept him out based on this young man's career, not game chosen talent. So you can't look. I'm looking at the 3rd or 4th, and with the opportunity to have the 2nd or 1st next year.
But the problem is, there's not that much difference between Jaden Daniels and Drake May for the number 2 or number 3. So you're like, I do understand what Paul's saying. You're just going to give that up because you didn't get the other guy.
If I gave you 2 lottery tickets and the one on the left was a guaranteed $50. But the one on the right had a chance to win 500. What are you taking?
I believe that it's going to go quarterback, no matter what.
Yeah,
quarterback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just don't think. I don't think New England's.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Charles too. The teams are going to might not be the same teams. We know
Yeah,
number 1 and number 2
so.
probably are going to be the same team. I don't think they're trading out of 2. 3 though. 3 might be a wild card.
If
Washington is.
What do you ask for that? What do you ask for number 3 then?
I don't know,
but it depends on what team is asking to come up to number 3.
Well, I can tell you from looking at it right now that there's probably only, off the top of my head, 2 teams. Like, and you already brought one of them up. And I think the other team that is crazy enough to come up and try to move up into the draft is another team that was in the playoffs last year. It needs a quarterback.
Who?
Cleveland?
No, because Cleveland doesn't pick till 54.
Who? It's not making us into owls.
Fucking Dallas.
Cowboys
Oh God.
No, they didn't do anything in free agency.
They can't afford a top 5 rookie contract. Dak's got $55 million against the cap, second highest.
Not just that, Dallas lost its entire offensive line.
You can mortgage it. You can mortgage it. You just slide that little
I think
card.
What has Jerry ever mortgaged anything?
Jerry don't need a mortgage.
Patrick might be onto something. He's been telling us to charge it to the card for a few days now.
It's just it's a running joke because we saw
I know
Bears did it one time. It's just a running joke. It's
Carolina just did it, so maybe it is Dallas's.
Carolina just did it. Carolina just gave away everything they had in the kitchen sink.
If Dallas trades up for a quarterback, they're officially done this season. Because if you're Dak, why the fuck are you going to go out and play if they draft a first-round quarterback?
I'm still showing other teams who I am. I'm going to play. I'm probably not winning
another contract at this point. Then
I'm not playing.
But this is signed Dak to a contract. That's why I was saying this.
I don't think they're going to. I don't
think they will either.
No, I think Dak is going to be on the
players to play and.
They do because you still have to pay Micah. You still have to pay CD. You still have to pay. They lost Stephon Gilmore's gone. So I don't see Dallas doing it because they don't have the cash and they don't have the cap space. I think Denver could trade up. Denver could trade up because they don't have a their quarterback situation is trash.
Yeah.
That's true.
They can't.
Where's
yeah,
Denver drafting out of?
12?
Denver. Yeah, they're not. They can't do nothing.
They don't
Denver's,
got enough.
Yeah,
They owe
Denver's
too much.
comfortable at 12.
I would be good.
Denver's
I
going to be taking Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr.
Whatever's left.
And I honestly think these fucking Sean Payton's looking at the next Drew Brees and just salivating. So
Yeah, we'll see.
Charles,
Who
how many
knows?
is game up to?
I don't know.
714.
It's 83-64 with 3 minutes left.
Jesus
They're both scoring, but nobody's. It's on cruise control right now.
Yeah, that's a we're not trying to fuck this game up score.
No.
I don't know, man. This draft, I'm so fucking excited for this draft because it's one of the first years that I can remember where I have zero idea what Howie's going to do in the first round. No idea.
Yeah.
I know what we need and I know what we want or what I would like the team to do, but I have zero idea the way Howie's going to go.
Well, we've lived comfortably in that 20 range, and for the most part,
you'll be disappointed no matter who the player is.
When you're 20 to 30, you tend to trade out into early positions and more pickups in the second third round.
and pick up a fourth or fifth round.
Yeah,
well, no, that's what we do as a team.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just saying, we strike gold every time we do it. Every time we talk
about
about it on the podcast.
You play this game like you said. Yeah. See who's available, and if that player gets off the board, you're just like, fuck it, I'll trade back. That's what the Packers do all the time.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
For your first pick, whenever it is, we all know when y'all's first pick in the first round.
You already know who Charles and I want.
No, I understand who y'all want, but what would be a pick if they were to make a pick this year that would just make you feel like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I have a really good feeling. I was looking at the Detroit Lions and what they're looking to pick up also. The Detroit Lions need a cornerback. With the Green Bay Packers just picking up another offensive lineman, I truly believe with everything inside of me, because we're picking 2 spots ahead, like in most of the mock drafts they've done
it to us. They took Laporta.
Yeah, Green Bay, the next team.
You know this.
I'm telling you,
you know this shit.
Here it is: Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
This draft means something different to them.
Yeah, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Arizona.
It won't revenge.
It's payback.
I don't know if Arizona might have 2 picks in the first round. That's great.
I don't know. One or two teams does. Just 2 teams don't have a pick.
Arizona has 4 and 27.
Because Tennessee doesn't have a draft pick, correct?
Not in the first.
Yeah.
So yes, they do. They're like, aren't they number 7?
Tennessee.
I don't
know.
Yeah, I think
that's what I'm saying.
Like top 10.
Tennessee's number 7. The number 9 pick for the Bears is going to be fun, right? Because
it's going to be decision.
Is going to take an offensive lineman. I think Tennessee's going to take an offensive lineman. I think then what does the Falcons do, right? Do they give Kirk Cousins? There's a whole ass plane or something. Do they give?
It was somebody's little weenie ass little mini motorcycle.
So do they give Kirk Cousins another offensive weapon? Or do they beef up their defense because Kirk Cousins is now their offensive weapon? That'll be interesting, and I think that is going to affect the Bears. But
why did we all get off of the quarterback train a long time ago? Because you were so hyped on them taking JJ McCarthy in the top 5, and now you're not talking about this anymore.
Okay, so now this is where I was going. Hold on, nope. Again, too, right? I have much different feelings on how this draft is going to go. I truly feel that Caleb's going 1, Drake May's going 2, Marvin Harrison's going 3, Malik Neighbors 4. The Minnesota Vikings are going to trade up, and this is where it gets hairy. Does Minnesota take JJ because they're in love with him, or do
Arizona
they take Jaden Daniels?
JJ McCarthy now.
So if this is how the draft happens and it's going that way, depending on what you do at 5, because Minnesota isn't going to go up to 3 when they can get what they want at 5, right?
But do you honestly think that, again, you're saying your bet is if Jaden Daniel goes 2nd, Marvin Harrison is coming off the board next?
I think regardless,
it's basically going to be that team that goes, we're just picking the best available.
No, in love with Drake May. There's no way they pass up on Drake May.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Caleb goes 1, Drake May goes 2.
If he goes 2.
Absolutely. Marvin Harrison goes 3, because in this situation, the Patriots on their big board, in my mind, the quarterback they wanted is no longer there. So I can sell jerseys and seats and give the guy I got now a little bit of extra butter while I pick up the same talent, arguably, in the next draft.
I put a little bit more faith into Vegas when it comes to odds because they have Jaden Daniels way above Drake May for taking him.
That's been a roller coaster because as of yesterday when I looked, it was stupid close.
I believe it's like $1.50 difference, and that's quite a bit. I don't know. I get it. It like you said, it's situational. It's a depending.
No, this is just if this was
out thing.
Yeah, if this was a me mock draft, I mean, where I get stuck is 5, right? Because what are you taking?
Yeah.
I believe it's Minnesota.
Okay, so this is what I was bringing up. So these guys have the New York Giants traded with Arizona Cardinals to take J.J. McCarthy because they believe the Daniel Jones era is done in New York, and they're just going through the motions. 5, they got Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Chargers. Cardinals picking up Rome. Titans picking up Alt and Quinyon Mitchell. Obviously, Quinyon Mitchell is a guy who any other draft probably be a top 5 pick, but he's going to Atlanta. But I agree with you. Atlanta does feel like they need to get another weapon for Kirky. Why not take
Bijan Robinson? You got Kyle Pitts. You got Drake London.
Take
you
Neighbors.
Throw them another good receiver out there.
They've got a more than decent offensive line. That's
because
why
I think
I'm confused on why we don't think Arizona would be taking an offensive lineman.
Are they going to?
No, just in general.
If it was me, Charles,
because
I would take Joe Alt all day.
I can tell you the reason I don't think they're taking an offensive lineman is because of who their head coach is. Jonathan Gannon doesn't give a shit about offensive line. He doesn't care. Not that he's not eventually going to take, but he's not taking one in the first round. He's going to take
and you have a running quarterback with Kyler too. Like he'll just run away. Like Charles,
he'll extend the
long in the NFL. So
I just think at 4,
he's used to running away playing Call of Duty.
At 4, no shit. At 4, it's too good.
Kyler? He's running with the gun in his hand in Call of Duty, and they're like, he runs just like he does in the NFL, away from everything. Oh, that's kind of funny.
I think Marvin Harrison at 4 makes too much sense for them. They have pick number 27 as well, I think.
Yes.
And so then you could still get a decent lineman at 27. You could still get a really decent either guard or tackle, or maybe even a center, depending if they need a center. But Arizona for me.
There's no way New England does.
You can't pass on Mark.
No, you guys brought this up. You asked Charles and I who we wouldn't want. Right. And I think Charles and I are both in agreement on it. We wouldn't want them to pick up another wide receiver or an offensive weapon because I don't think we need it. There's not enough room in that locker room for it.
Yeah.
And I would be pissed if they picked up an offensive player.
Yeah.
Even a running back if he was there.
You don't want a skill player.
No, I don't want a skill
player. I don't think not in the
corner.
first round, especially. Yeah, I don't think Green Bay needs. Yeah, I think you're going to be stuck on Cooper because Cooper's not going to get past Philly.
He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there. Yeah.
No, I think Philly is the lowest spot that Cooper DeJean goes, and I don't think
not after his pro day.
Teron Arnold.
Terrion Arnold.
There's not a guy. Oh, there's not enough. There's just another guy there. I'm just saying.
Eagle attention to old Arnold.
Yeah.
Who do I not want on the
Philly? Let's jump right into Philly then. We talked about the Packers. We talked about the Bears. We talked about the top 5. Who's a player that you would get irritated with, Mike? The first round. If they just said, you know what, F it, we're going all in with this guy, and that guy was like nowhere on your board.
I don't want for.
If they went wide receiver in the first round, I'd be pissed.
Wide receiver?
Stupid.
It'd be dumb.
Well, especially since there's 4 or 5 really good ones. But it's like you're gonna miss out on what you need to get something that you have. You guys have a full locker room as far as wide receivers go. Where's this guy gonna fit in? You know,
that's the thing is like whoever we draft at 22, that receiver still drafted high enough that he would want to be a wide receiver 1. We don't need a wide receiver 1.
Mike, did you happen to catch the absolute joke that Philly fans did to the New England Patriots about them supposedly having interest in AJ Brown? And they let them spam their own TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook pages and all this shit was saying, oh yeah, we reached out to him, and Philly goes, the fuck they did. He goes, we never answered no phone calls about AJ Brown. Are you fucking crazy?
That's the thing is Philly media. Nobody hates Philly athletes more than Philly media. It just is what it is. Ace, this is what happened for those of you guys listening who don't know. Is AJ Brown put a picture of Tom Brady on his
Tom Brady
profile picture, and Tom Brady is well documented AJ Brown's favorite player to ever play football, right? So AJ Brown felt like the media disrespected him. He put Tom Brady up because the year after the media started disrespecting Tom, he snapped. He turned into a different player. That's what AJ was trying to say. The Philly media, specifically WIP, who's supposedly the Eagles' flagship station, shitting all over him, saying he's a diva and he wants out and he wants this $200 million contract. And AJ went online and was like, look, y'all disrespected me. I told y'all to shut the fuck up. Y'all didn't shut the fuck up. So this is me telling y'all, keep disrespecting me. I'm going to show you who I am. No more talking, no more radio interviews, no more none of that. We're done. And this is the other thing. Philly media have gotten this thing so high. There's one guy who I absolutely fucking hate. He works for this place called Jacob Sports or Jacob Sports or whatever it is. His name is Dan Saleo. He's a fucking scumbag to the max. He's the one who's AJ Brown's a diva, and I want to trade him. And if New England gave us number 3, get the fuck out of here. You're ridiculous. Why would I trade a receiver who just broke records last year, has had 1,000+ yards and 7+ touchdowns the whole time he's been here? Why am I going to trade him? There's no receivers that we could draft that would replace him, not even a little bit. So I think, but yeah, if they drafted a receiver in the first round, I'd be really pissed. I don't really want them to take an offensive line piece in the first round either. I think we need cornerback and we need edge way too much.
Right. Why not pick up a young corner, especially like anybody?
DeJean or Terrion Arnold or Kool-Aid. Or even if you want to wait till the second round and pick up a cornerback, then you go edge in the first round because Max Melton out of Rutgers is killing shit. Like
he'll still be there.
Yeah. So you could pick up him at 50, pick up Edrin Cooper or Junior Colston at 53, and your first round you could go someone like, if he's still there, so for some ungodly reason, Jared Verse or Leatu Latu. Somebody on the edge is going to make a difference.
All right, boys, it's time to freaking get that monkey off the back and talk about the elephant in the room. Caitlin Clark signing a giant deal with Nike. And everybody's opinion on this is it's fantastic for sports. It's fantastic for women's basketball. Paul, you brought up a point that 2 other women in the WNBA have signed similar deals.
And my only issue,
off the top of my head,
the only 3 players, female players I know that have a signature shoe in the NBA is Caitlin Clark now, Sabrina Ionescu, and Brianna Stewart. I think has her own shoe.
So I can't believe Griner doesn't have a shoe deal with Adidas.
The one that bothers me is Asia Wilson.
Wilson, that one's weird to me. Like
she is literally one of the most well-known athletes in the WNBA, and like she dominates on offense and defense. And the fact that Nike hasn't seen the potential of having a signature deal for her, I just think about like when Shell Shoops and Cynthia Cooper had their shoes, like they were the face of the league. I'm not saying that Asia Wilson is the face of the league, but when you think of the WNBA, her name is synonymous.
It's got to be up there
right now. So for Caitlin Clark to get a shoe deal, listen, no shade on her. Congratulations, she's earned it. But you can't sit here and tell me that Caitlin Clark has earned it and Asia Wilson hasn't. Like,
you know what it is. They're trying to capitalize on the market right now. That's what they're trying to do.
But
this is the money. This is the money thing for them.
It's unfair for Asia Wilson.
Well, look at it.
I'm shocked on both sides that Steph Curry and Under Armour didn't get Caitlin, and they haven't gone after Asia.
Well, here's the problem. Under Armour can't compete with what Nike can put to the table.
But it's Steph Curry.
But that's the other thing is
it has to do with money and who can market her brand better, Steph Curry's or Nike. Come on, it's not even a question.
But here's the thing about Under Armour, right? Is you may not get a big upfront signing bonus and all of that shit. But I think with Under Armour, the way I remember doing this research for the stories that I've had to do for school is that Under Armour pays a bigger back end than Nike does. So initially, yes, you're not going to get the same contract signing bonus that Caitlin Clark will or whoever signing with Nike, right? But you will get more percentage on the shoes sold than you would with Nike.
I get
So
it. I get the money wise.
Yeah,
the money makes sense.
For them, it was them just
that.
showing. It was just them shoving a bunch of money in front of her face, and she said, "Okay."
But I'm not upset at her getting her shoe deal. That's
Right.
not my issue.
There's a bunch of women who
it's
should
just
have.
it's confusing.
Because we all know these women have put in just as much effort into the game as the guys do. So you can't tell me they haven't earned that kind of money to do shoe deals, especially Caitlin Clark. I get it. It's just weird that Asia Wilson's been doing this in college and in the pros.
So to put
hasn't
this in
even
context,
yet.
right? Like, it would be Newcastle's going into the draft, right?
Yeah.
So it would be like Newcastle having a shoe deal right after draft day, but Luka Doncic not having a shoe right now.
It's weird.
Like this is for those of you who haven't followed or don't know much yet about the WNBA, but do watch the NBA. It would be like one of these newer NBA guys coming into the draft already getting a shoe deal, but Luka Doncic, I fucked that name, but whatever, not having a deal.
Okay, so you guys want me to? I'll bring something up right now. Wilson's portfolio includes Ruffles, Mountain Dew, and Nike, but not Nike shoes. No pun intended. They're dragging their feet. So she does have a deal with Nike, but it's athletic wear.
So it's apparel,
which is
so this
cool, but
opens
that's
the
crap.
door. I think this opens it. I think the Caitlin Clark
for sure.
waterfall effect is going.
If I'm Asia Wilson's agent, I'm talking to Nike and be like, "Hey, yo, I'm
not just talking to Nike
or more."
Or I'm going to Adidas or Under Armour.
Adidas, Converse, Under Armour. Like they're so Jordan. Like I don't know if Jordan's ever had a signature women's shoe either. Like a signature athlete.
Maya Moore was the first.
You just
so
hope she didn't handcuff
with
herself
her.
and not be able to, since she has a contract with Nike, they might have to buy her out in order to get the rights to her name to get her to get a shoe. That might be one of the problems. Nike's holding her back from this. That's speculating.
Right. Her agent needs to figure something out.
You got to do better.
Here's the thing: is you have to figure out what the NIL is, name, image, and likeness, right? You have to figure out what your NIL is worth, right? You know what it is in college, but what is your name and your image worth in the pros? And we already know Caitlin Clark's name and image is almost priceless because of the records and the hype that she brings. And I agree, Asia should have had a shoe. Like, I think there's a woman that I am a huge fan of that I think should have had a shoe a long time ago that I think people aren't talking about is Kelsey Plum. I think she's a bad motherfucker, and she should have had a shoe. Like, she's already out there pounding the ground for the WNBA. She's out there being a spokesperson. She's out there being a leader. So there are so many women that you could find that say she should have had a shoe deal, and she should.
But I think pass the ball.
I think this is
a gamer career.
Wednesday here, the athletic directors in the state of Wisconsin vote to give high school athletes NIL money.
High school athletes? Oh.
Yes, the athletic directors are voting on to whether or not allow them to use their high school jerseys, all that stuff. April 24th, they vote on it. So that's going to change Wisconsin sports, period. I think probably more Kimberly than anything, with the Papermakers football team having a fucking $3 million locker room, or $30 million locker room.
Yeah, dude,
so crazy.
Bro,
their football team has a better locker room than the Kansas City Chiefs. It's bigger and better than the Kansas City Chiefs.
You should see the Texas high school football
12 or 20 milli. It's like 12 or 20 million.
Oh no, this is a joke, a running joke. Somebody actually put it on like Twitter or something. It's Kimberly's high school football locker room. It's their weight room. And then they showed the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're like, this is a high school in Wisconsin. Because if you show one in Texas, it's probably way better anyway. But this is a mock on it. Just being a little Wisconsin school of like 10,000 people has a better locker room than the freaking NFL team. And we all know Kansas City's in trouble. We know they're going to St. Louis probably.
Oh, they're
Hell,
going
you guys
back to
want them in
St. Louis,
San Antonio.
yeah.
You're
I mean,
open,
listen,
open arms, man.
The St. Louis Battlehawks are averaging like 30 to 43,000 attendance.
Yeah,
right?
you can't tell me if they
Bro.
move the Chiefs down there. Ooh.
my God.
Whatever city claims hold of the skill set of Patrick Mahomes, that city's economy is going to explode.
St. Louis is begging for Kansas City to keep.
Because
I'm
San Antonio is
out.
already busy.
They'll
Yeah.
probably
You
be
put
like, we'll give you
Patrick
the
Mahomes
Blues.
in
We'll
San
give
Antonio
St. Louis Blues.
with
It's the
Wemby
game
on the other
people hate
side.
it.
Listen,
You
if
know?
you put Patrick Mahomes in San Antonio next to Wemby, San Antonio is never going to be quiet. And I'm all the way in.
Bro, like you got
You can't
the
take
league.
this guy from me.
The league can keep that bullshit. I don't want any part of fucking Kansas City and San Antonio. It already sucks.
Well, it wouldn't be
attraction-wise.
Kansas City. It would be the Texas Stars.
Yeah.
No, it'd be like the San Antonio Roughnecks or some stupid
Well,
bullshit
I mean,
like
and
that.
here's what we're looking at in
It'll be
that
the Lone
scenario. Some
Stars.
of the listeners might think it's ridiculous, but we've already discussed this
Yeah.
on the show multiple times.
We all broke it down.
I'm a
We broke down
billionaire.
the numbers. They're $180 million in debt. To
I'm
the
a
city.
yeah.
The city's $180 million in debt,
And
they
either
already
you
said,
pay it up or you can leave.
Yeah.
I'm a billionaire, and the way I got to be a billionaire
by
is
not
by
giving it
spending
away.
other people's money. And
Yeah.
if you're
Exactly.
going to want me to come spend your money, and these motherfuckers right now are pissing me off, I'm going to come spend your money happily. Because
Well,
if
I
it
think
doesn't
what
work
it
out in
was-
15 years, I'll pack it
But
up
the-
overnight and
I
ship it
think
off
the
to
owner already
Texas.
put up his half of the money, and they already did the renovations. The problem is that the city said we ain't giving you a dime, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what he says.
And-
He's like, I
and
already
I-
put up some money.
yeah.
I already brought the team here.
And
F
I
you
don't want
guys.
the
See, and the-
listeners to think that I don't think the city should fucking pay a
No,
dime,
he's
to be honest
basically
with
saying
you.
I'm in the best interest of the team, and the team's best interest is to not be here because you don't want to put any money into it.
Yeah, and
That's why
This
he
is-
has every
that's-
right to do that.
That's what's crazy. The one thing that I think is stopping San Antonio specifically from getting a team is the city is looking into building a new arena for the Spurs. So we ain't getting no football team no time soon. It's just not happening. This is gonna be
No, they would have to
Multi-
petition it,
No,
all that
and,
stuff.
And to be
anyway.
honest, I haven't heard San Antonio on a radar. It's
not since the Raiders were
The thing
were-
is, even if they were to move, this is a 5-year thing down the road.
Yeah,
anyway. This isn't going to
absolutely.
happen anytime soon. Because I
No, I
believe they
don't
still have a
think it- yeah, I
contract
mean-
with the city.
if you gotta ask me, if you're asking me to put money on it right now, I'm telling you St. Louis.
I'm saying they're
and I
leaving.
don't
I'm
even think
saying
it's
they're
a
leaving
question.
if this doesn't get
All
resolved.
right, it
Absolutely.
only makes sense to go to St. Louis. Again, your fan base is a
Oh, yeah.
definitely
By
more-
next season, if they don't resolve this, they're gone. They're
Can
gone.
you imagine the St. Louis Battlehawks and the St. Louis Chiefs?
Wait, holy
I
shit.
think if they
Yeah.
move, they're gonna have to change the Chiefs' name. They're not gonna keep that.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
wouldn't be St. Louis. They wouldn't be KC anymore.
they wouldn't be ranked.
Man,
they'd be the
could you
SLC.
Can you imagine if this
SLC, it's
happened quick and
completely
Kelsey
marketable.
was there? There'd be no more Chiefs jerseys. You'd have to buy a new fucking jersey.
Yeah, Swifties
Oh,
will buy
man.
them all out.
And especially like they changed the colors and the whole.
Oh, they'd be like the Blues. They'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
it'd be
no,
cool
no,
if they were
no,
like
no.
baby
St. Louis
blue.
Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals are red. I don't know why the
but
Battlehawks are blue.
you can't be the Cardinals. You got to be like you got to be something cool.
No, the color for
the
the
same red though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more tomato, more crayon for y'all.
Yeah. Listen, hold on a second. I'm not doing this to spend more fucking money. I'm doing this because other people are going to spend, I'm going to spend their fucking money, right? You're
Well, and
asking
I
me
think-
now
I
to
think-
change the color of my fucking jersey. You're asking me to change my name. Whoa. We're the St. Louis fucking Chiefs. We're the same goddamn color. I'm not spending any more money than I have to.
I think,
Billionaires stay billionaires.
hey, it's sure as shit they don't
Look at
spend
the
money.
MLB
but-
jerseys. Come on.
Oh God, let's not do that. Those New York Mets jerseys are absolute donkey balls.
And I still,
What
I
if-
got to pay for the gas for the team to move. So
Charles,
St. Louis is a hell of a lot cheaper.
What if they stole it from us? What if they stole the Milwaukee Brewers thing and they were the St. Louis Brews?
Yeah.
Because they are the city of beer. They're the city of beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Shitty beer. baby.
St. Louis Brats. Now let's you guys.
I'm just saying that what would happen if they did it? They would steal it from the Brewers.
St. Louis.
Oh, they
Brews.
would get sued probably.
They can't do that.
You think they trademarked that
Yeah,
name, Charles?
No,
Yeah,
I just told you
100%.
what I think. I'm a fucking billionaire. I'm not spending more money than I have to. The goddamn name's staying the same. The only thing that's fucking changing is the city. I gotta pay for gas to move these fuckers from Kansas City to St. Louis. That's enough for me.
I think St. Louis is a little more conservative. I don't think the Chiefs thing's gonna fly there in St. Louis. I don't think it's gonna fly because that's the whole reason why they got the Blues.
Hold on a second. Listen to me. The last team that was there was the fucking Rams.
Yeah.
Where is a goddamn Ram in St. Louis? They got no fucking logic there. I'm sticking with my billionaire, not spending my money.
You can say this with a lot of teams. You can say that with a lot of teams' logos. They don't make any.
That's what I mean. I'm not.
But
we're talking.
For me,
Dude, the Kansas City owner is greedy as fuck, right? We ain't talking about Shahib there for the Phoenix Suns.
We will see. I think we're going to see here. This is going to become a very cool debate if it does happen.
We just got done talking about how much the Kansas City locker room suck dick.
You
think this guy? You think this guy's gonna pay for a fucking rebranding? You're crazy, man.
Did you see that they got all like D and C grades on their whole stadium?
Yes.
And even the
Their whole
players are like,
shit's up.
yeah, it's
Listen,
shitty.
D's get degrees and they're winning fucking championships. What the hell?
Shut up.
I didn't tell you if you win a championship, I'll give you a better locker room like the fucking Vikings in the 70s who couldn't fit the goddamn bill. They got a dome before they got heated seats.
You probably don't remember when Lambeau in Soldier Field had the troughs, right? You were standing next to dudes pissing in a trough, a pig trough.
Oh, I grew up with troughs. Yeah.
I remember this. High school stadiums had them.
You had the ice in it. Yeah, the ice and everything.
Just dicks out elbow to elbow for
take your cup out. That's not refill your cup ice, but yeah.
Yeah, I sure the fuck hope that. You imagine a little kid running in there. You're like, oh, forever.
It doesn't taste like lemon for real.
It doesn't taste like lemon. It's not Lemonhead.
No, listen, Kansas City isn't rebranding. That dude is that ain't Walmart money. You don't just give Russell Wilson $90 million to go home. Hell no. You're keeping the jerseys. I'm keeping the color. At best, we're taking out the KC because that's 2 letters, and I'm switching it with SL because that's 2 fucking letters. And you're going to be the SLC, market the fuck out of it, and get out of my house.
It can't be SC or SL.
It can't be SLC because they've got St. Louis or Salt Lake City. SC, STL.
STC.
Tell that to the St. Louis Cardinals.
The abbreviation is STL.
STL is just St. Louis. Yeah.
I'm saying if they're moving it to St. Louis, that would be I take out the KC
just like the Rams used to
and
be.
put STL in there, or just
you're asking for a whole nother letter here, man.
Where
do you think I'm getting this money? Where do you think I'm getting this fucking money?
Philly's got 3. Philly's got
for
3.
One whole fucking letter. Where am I going to get the money to do this?
The city.
Or you moving the team letters at all.
Oh yeah, we'll ask St. Louis to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, St. Louis.
Thinking they're in KC. Where KC's the one telling them that fuck you. No, you get that
That's
SC money.
The fuck money don't grow on trees. How did I become a billionaire? All right, by spending other people's money.
You better put that STL on that logo.
Yeah, you better put that STL on that logo. I ain't paying for that STL to go on there. Charles, like, if you got to pay for the extra letter, 2 assholes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm bringing you the ketchup king. You take it, and you give me 3 letters.
I don't know but you guys are right. This is not going to be a quick process. This is going to be 5 years, if not longer than that, down the road.
It might be really crappy.
Didn't the Baltimore Colts leave in one night? It can be done.
You could leave in one day. Yeah, they could just say it.
Yeah,
it's a small bus ride. I ain't got to pay a lot for gas. I'm telling you.
That's true. I mean, that from Kansas City to St. Louis is only a couple hours away, so it's not like you're moving across the country.
I leave at midnight. I'm there before 6 a.m. And the city I'm going to is Love and Life. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The problem is does St. Louis still have the Rams, the old Rams stadium?
The Battlehawks are playing in it. Yeah.
Battlehawks playing.
Oh, then
yeah, you ain't moving overnight. Yeah, you ain't moving. The whole ass stadium's being built. What's going there?
I don't know. To tell you, Charles, if they're bringing in an NFL team, that the other team's getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Listen. Whoa. If I'm moving my fucking team, I'm moving it to a new fucking stadium. You ain't put me in that bullshit.
You don't move it to a new stadium if you're moving overnight.
You're building. You're gonna start the build next fucking year. I know. Small moments before that, I did cancel out the overnight thing. I said, "Oh fuck, it can't be overnight. They gotta build a new stadium
overnight." You don't build a stadium in 1-2 years.
Well, wait a minute.
4 years to build a stadium.
We can contract Dubai workers. They have that shit done on a Thursday.
Charles, bring up Bring it up again. Bring up the
Vikings
fact that
having
they built a
overall
road
crisis right now. They can't
over a
help it.
bridge. Did Charles brought this up to me one time, and we looked it up and we watched the video. We watched a time lapse video of like what the fuck? I don't even remember what country it was, but they fucked up a bridge, tore a bridge down, took a bridge out, rebuilt the bridge, built a road back over it, and I think it was like over a weekend they did this.
Yeah.
It's some other country. It was like a mile-long bridge.
But that one bridge is going to take 10 years.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if the state legalizes weed and then you put weed money in the roads, you don't have to milk those jobs for 10 years because so much more work opens up. It's weird how that works out. Fucking politics, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think everybody's rubbing their eyes and freaking getting ready to roll.
Yeah, no, I love it. Here's the thing. We're coming up on draft day. What is this? What we said Thursday? We're coming up on draft day. We're going to have trivia. We're going to have time to bounce around. We're going to have time to talk. So the trivia is not going to be a headliner. It's going to be a space filler. So as the draft picks come in, we're going to talk about it. If it's exciting, we've got a little bit to talk about. But in between those moments, that dead space, that's when we're going to do a little bit of trivia. And they're going to
I think the trivia, what you should do is you should give us at least 4 options. You should give us an A, B, C, D.
I was gonna say
this is gonna be a little more difficult. Charles is not gonna fucking make this easy on us.
I was gonna say, you want a fucking participation trophy? Go sign up for a 5th grade spelling bee.
I do. I don't want a participation trophy. I just want to be able to compete because I feel like
you'll be able to compete. You're all gonna be walking through the same shit. It's gonna be thick and heavy.
Some of these answers are gonna be. And you do remember this is going to be live, right, Charles?
All right, listen. I'll give you a hint to the first question right off the bat. When did Bob Saget enter daytime television?
1984.
I don't know. I haven't looked up the answer, but those are going to be some of the questions you get.
Hell, man. I thought you already knew the answer.
We're over here trying to figure it out.
You could have said fucking anything, and if it had enough confidence behind it, I would have said, yeah, absolutely. And on next week's episode.
What I think I was going to say, since we're so close
87
to
is the
draft,
answer.
I was going to say 86.
I said 84.
What I was going to say, since we're so close to the draft, maybe our shows individually do our own top 50 big boards and use and put them on our YouTube pages as posts. So our people who are on the page can see who we think is where and for our top 50 big boards.
I like that. Wednesday. Also, at the same point, too, I think if people, our listeners, if they've been listening to the show, they've got a pretty good idea on who we think is going to go where. I do like it extended out to that number, though. We've hovered mostly in 1 through 10 and 20 through 25.
Yeah, I think that if we do not necessarily a top 50 draft order, but our big board, who are the top 50 players you think in the entire draft, and then post those, because I can do one on Canva. Actually, I can't because my laptop's bugging up, but we can get something done. I just think that there's so much shit that's getting ready. Day 1 of the draft is going to be insane.
I want to do this where we break down, we critique all of the picks, and we give them a draft grade. Let's all give them a draft grade too. I think that'll be fair. We'll go around the table. Give them a consensus draft grade.
We got a lot coming up because we were in the same pick position last year, and I believe it took 3 hours and 27 minutes to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
7 minutes in, where the fuck you're sitting, man.
Our first live ever was a draft.
Yeah, and it went 3 hours and 27 fucking minutes.
We're not trying to make it 3 years in a row, though.
Yeah. We were up till 10 o'clock.
You shouldn't.
We were up till 10 o'clock that night. It was pretty rough.
So are we gonna do all 3 nights?
Oh,
or is it?
I'm too old for that shit.
We'll just do first round. Yeah,
it's gonna.
Okay.
Thursday night works for me.
Absolutely. Because then we could break off on the individual shows and break it out.
Let's do first round Thursday. Sunday we'll do our recap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with that. That's perfect.
We'll recap our draft. We'll recap all of our teams. We'll critique all the picks. We'll try to pick apart some of the picks, some of the teams that made shitty picks that we think made shitty picks.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good.
Yeah. And I'm thinking potential giveaways on these live draft episode also.
Oh, Charles.
I'll be kind of excited about that. So I think what we'll end up doing, nope, y'all will cheat. I'll figure it out.
I'm not cheating.
No, not you, the listeners. I said we'll put up a poll question, and whoever gets the answer right, well, but you just fucking Google that shit. So.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no accountability there.
Wow, y'all got a bunch of guilty ass consciences or something. Holy fuck.
Brother, we were in the military. What's that famous saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't
That's what
trying.
I'm saying. Fuck. You know when I figure out what I got to do next? When the door closes behind me. That's when I fucking figure out what I got to do next.
Not everybody is you, Charles.
Until that door fucking closes, I can still turn around. All right? That's what I'm saying. For real, for real. For all of our listeners out there, all of our likers, our subscribers, our sharers, our commenters, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you so much. There's multiple giveaways going on. For example,
I think that's your cue.
Oh, shit, I'm high. Sorry. Look, draft night 1. We're going to do something pretty different. So I want to do not only a t-shirt giveaway, but I want to do a mug giveaway and a hat giveaway. Ooh. So we'll do a first, second, and third prize giveaways. What those are going to be, maybe there's trivia questions. Maybe there are a secret phrase you'll have to listen to. I will confirm. Yeah, maybe you have to watch for in succession crazy eyes.
Clip the crazy eye face and put it on a shirt.
Charles.
So, yeah, we'll do – the Heat Check will do a first, second, and third place. And we'll do 3 different things you have to watch for or comments or whatever, and we'll go from there.
So it'll be like a little bit of an Easter egg, which you will be able to catch on our upcoming live show via the draft. Of course, the Boys in the Woods podcast have their giveaways going on, one of which is the Hobby Horse T-shirt contest, where all you have to do is be a subscriber, like the YouTube page, and comment on any one of these videos that we talk about it. I want the T-shirt. For everybody else out there, the world is a much better place with you in it. Please, smile more.
I hate to be that guy. Damian Lillard still only has 35 points.
Yeah.